Unicorns and glitter and taxidermy critters are just some of the things they like. They also enjoy 80s hair bands, Grizzly Adams and John Goodman, so if you think that's weird then you can take a hike. But the things they enjoy the most are making art and cracking jokes, so without further ado, here are your hosts. You've got your two artsy gals, Here are your two artsy gals.
Hey everybody, this is Katie.
And this is Lonnie.
And you're listening to Two Artsy Gals! Woohoo! Well, that was a really not energetic. That was a flopper. I want to do some more giveaways sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, that was fun.
Maybe not necessarily like embroidery. We could do other stuff. But
yeah.
So tell us, listeners, like, what kind of contests and stuff do you like? Not just drawings. Like, I want to do contests.
Okay.
Like, what kind of contests would you guys like to do? Like, what do you guys think would be awesome?
Yeah.
And what kind of prizes would you want?
Yeah.
Like, do you want us to do more collaborative pieces, like paintings or like, you know, collage or whatever, or purge our art supplies? I don't know. Tell us. We think it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
I think and I like being able to interact with people.
Yeah.
Like with our listeners. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Think about some stuff.
Maybe they could send photos of their projects or something.
Yeah, we could have a challenge or something, or something like that. You should tell us what you think, people.
Yeah.
We want to know so that we can do stuff. Because I was thinking it would be fun to do like a New Year's thing. Because, I think our first episode of the new year, because we plan out our season, kind of loosely plan out our shows season at a time. Mm-hmm. So I kind of I just last night finalized the plan for our winter season, which is going to be December through February. Mm-hmm. And I think our first episode of the new year is going to be organizing your art space, arts and crafts space. So maybe we could have people send us pictures of their arts and crafts space and post them on the blog or something, and have people choose the most awesome one or something. I don't know. What do you guys think of that? Mm-hmm. Email us and tell us.
Yeah.
Okay? towardsthegals@gmail.com. Do that. It'll be cool. We want to know where you put your crayons. I was trying to think of how to segue into our topic today. Because we're talking about crayons. Yeah, it kind of did. And we're talking about crayons today. Good old-fashioned crayons.
Yep.
I love crayons.
Me too.
Crayons never stop being awesome.
Mm-hmm. Though I haven't used them in a long time. Since my child was smaller.
My niece loves to color.
Yeah.
And when she comes here, we color all the time.
Nice.
So I do use them.
Mm-hmm.
I just dug some out for this episode, because Lonnie and I kind of picked some projects that we're going to do at home. Sometimes we do stuff here together. Mm-hmm. We actually need to have an art day together again, because we haven't done it in a while.
Yeah.
Because it's been kind of crazy we just went through crazy Halloween madness and
yes.
and all that. So we haven't had time to really sit and do a craft day. Yeah. We need to do that.
Yeah.
For sure. We'll do the snow globes together next month.
Okay.
We're doing an episode on snow globes in December, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
So we'll do that together. But yeah, I totally got sidetracked on what I was even fucking saying. And I lost my fucking outline.
Glitter. No, crayons.
Crayons. You're so funny. Today we were talking and we chose what projects we're going to do at home for crayon stuff. But I was just kind of reminiscing in my own mind. I was thinking about crayons. I think my favorite thing about them is the smell. The smell of crayons just makes me think of, like, I don't know, fun stuff.
Yeah.
When you're a kid, like, laying around coloring.
Yeah.
Like, my grandma used to buy us every year, I don't know where she found them. She used to buy us giant coloring books for Christmas. And we used to lay on the floor and color at her house all the time. It was so fun. It was one of the few times that my cousins and I usually weren't fighting. Because we always got our own box of crayons and our own giant coloring book.
Nice.
And we'd hang out and color. It was a quiet activity, which I'm sure my grandmother was grateful for because there were 7 of us that were always there for like, you know, every like Sunday dinners and shit. There were 7 of us. And then there, 7 of us. And then we had second cousins that would come sometimes. And if all the cousins were there, there were like over 12 of us, and it was loud and obnoxious. And so I think she was like, I know, maybe coloring books will keep them quiet for a while. They're out of hand, these kids. Because especially in the winter on the coast, like, you don't play outside. Mm-hmm. Well, I always wanted to, but your adults don't want you out there in the cold and the wind and the what all.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong outline. Derp. Derp. So, yeah. What did you like to do with crayon? Like, did you color a lot when you were a kid, Lonnie?
Mm-hmm.
I loved coloring.
Yeah, I did. I liked sometimes to even just color so much where the paper gets waxy.
I loved that.
Yeah, and you could rub it and make it all shiny.
Totally.
Yeah, I would sometimes just do these little fuzzy circles that end up connected. Like you pick 4 or 5 colors and just make rings and rings and rings, you know, and then coat the whole paper in crayon.
That was always so awesome.
Yeah, I think was it wax paper you rub on it to make it shiny, and yeah, I just remember that.
We were inventive as kids even.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I loved that. And the smell of it and all of it was like...
Yeah. There are 2 childhood smells like that and the smell of Play-Doh. I fucking love the smell of Play-Doh. Mm-hmm.
And I would try to get all perfectionist on my coloring and my coloring
I was
books.
Always super
like I always wanted to do a dark outline.
Dude, me too.
And then
we colored the same
colored
way.
Softly. Yes.
And then when I got older, I got into like, you know, I realized you could do shading and all that. And then,
Yeah.
My niece recently told me, we were at my mom's and she has coloring books down there for her. And we were coloring some SpongeBob coloring book. And she's all, I let her pick which ones so we could share. Mm-hmm. She's all, you color too fancy, Aunt Katie. You're taking too long. I'm like, what do you mean I color too fancy? And she goes, all this. What is this? And I'm like, it's shading. She's like, it's a coloring book. You don't have to do that. It's not a masterpiece. So I wasn't coloring fast enough. She got bored. She's like, come on, move it along, toots.
You're like, scribble over SpongeBob with yellow. Done.
Yeah, right?
Patrick, pink. Scribble, scribble, scribble. Done. Yeah.
That's funny. My husband called me Squidward the other night. I don't think I'm a Squidward.
No.
I said, whatever, Patrick Starfish. Psht.
Yeah.
I'm not
Squidward.
Yeah,
I called Squidward pink. I meant Patrick.
No, you said Patrick.
I did? Okay.
No. I was just
like,
thinking.
Man, where is my mind?
I thought about that because he was like, I got irritated with him for something. And he's like, nice, Squidward. Like, I was the grumpy one.
Squidward is so grumpy.
I'm a fucking SpongeBob.
Yeah.
I'm giddy and dumb half the time.
I'm ready.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I should make my son do a SpongeBob laugh for you sometimes. It's very upsetting. So, let's talk about some crayons.
Yeah.
I just want to fucking talk about this artist for a second because he fucking blows my mind. You heard of, his name is Hong Tran. I hope I'm saying that right. From Wax Nostalgia.
Yeah.
I'm going to post a link to his Tumblr page. He also has an Etsy. And he's the dude that carves the, like, pop culture icons out of fucking crayons.
That's
and
so amazing.
My mind is always blown. I'm like, this is fucking the best thing ever.
Yeah.
He does such amazing detail.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just insane.
Yeah.
Like, he did a Beavis and Butthead one recently.
He did?
Yeah, I follow his Tumblr.
Aww.
And he does, like, he has, like, all the Simpsons. He does all the Star Wars characters. Like, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Does he incorporate other colors?
Yeah, I think he paints a little bit on them. Or he might even, I don't know if he paints them or uses other melted crayon. I'm not sure.
Probably carves out little faces and
but
puts
yeah,
them on there or something.
They are fucking insane. No one should be able to carve that detail.
Yeah.
On that scale.
I know. Have you seen the pencil end one?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Jeez.
my brain just goes, how is that even a thing?
It's cool. Amazing.
I'm way too clumsy for stuff that is that delicate. Mm-hmm. Like,
and they must have very special tools. I mean, yeah, because crayons would... I don't know.
No, I don't know. I can't even color without breaking crayons.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get a little carried away sometimes. I'll break my crayons, and then it makes me sad inside. But I recently bought crayons for the house because there was like a 6-pack of the... No, wait. I think it was a 3-pack of the great big... Not the great big long box, but the next size. Like it's a tall square kind of... It had a free crayon sharpener in it.
Cool.
Right? Because you always want the sharp crayons.
Yeah.
I hate it when my crayons get dull.
I remember having a box that I loved so much, the built-in sharpener. Yeah.
And then your jerky-ass brother would break a crayon off inside the sharpener.
Yep.
That ever happened? Mm-hmm. Did your brother do that? I'll find him at the store he works at. Yeah. And I'll go in there and I'll say, look, don't break crayons and Lonnie's sharpener.
It was probably me breaking off the crayons in there.
My brothers did that.
And now that I think about it, you probably could take a pin or something and poke it in and pull it back
I always
out.
had to have like my dad figure it out.
Yeah.
Like,
My crayon sharpener. Ruined.
Used to make me mad.
You know what my favorite crayon was? Midnight Blue. That's the best color.
Really?
Yeah. I love Midnight Blue crayon color.
I don't think I liked that one.
Yeah. For Night Sky, it was
for Night Sky it is Midnight Blue, but now I have a really bad 80s song stuck in my head. Isn't there a Midnight Blue or something weird? I don't know. Derp. I might be making it up. I used to make up songs about coloring, like when I was coloring. I never felt
I'm trying to think of a song right now.
No.
I can't. No.
I was trying to think of what my favorite crayon color was. You know, I was still into reds and purples.
Yeah.
All my life.
Like
reds and purples and oranges. I do like the turquoise. Turquoise
green,
is one of my favorite colors.
Blue, green. They were different.
I know. And I couldn't. And I would always color on the paper and put them side by side to try to figure out. They were different. But not that much. It was a subtle difference.
Yeah. Like one had a little more green, one had
a little more blue. That makes me feel bad
blue.
for my husband.
Because he can't see those
things.
Because
he's colorblind and he just can't tell the difference.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get him those glasses.
I would like to do that, but I was reading an article about those glasses and I guess it doesn't actually...
It's false.
Well, no, it doesn't make them see the color because they still can't see that color. They don't have those cones.
That's true.
In their vision, but it makes those colors a color that they can see. So I feel like...
I wonder what it actually looks like to them.
I wonder what it really looks like to them because I feel like it's not actually showing them... I think that it's just filling a spot that's void for them.
Yeah.
But I don't know that it's the actual color. But I've seen those videos of people crying oh my God. And I never really realized... I actually felt really bad because I asked Kurt about it one time. I'm like, do you feel sad you can't see color? It never occurred to me because I make fun of him and I think it's funny. But he does feel sad sometimes. He doesn't know. And then I guess he feels like he's missing out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then when you see it, that's why you cry because you're like, this is what I've been missing out.
Like a world full of color.
Yeah.
I don't know. My Uncle Dennis was in the Navy and they gave him for some job that he was doing. And this was back in the 70s probably. They used to make contacts that were 2 different color that would make you see color.
Wow.
And he said it gave him headaches all the time. I don't know how you people can stand it. He goes, I was so overwhelmed because my uncle was really fucking colorblind. There was a few colors that he could, but you know what? He was an insanely talented painter. With
color?
Yeah.
Whoa.
It was so weird, but he's like, oh, my battery just died, so we're doing this without an outline. He could just do, bring it up on here. Yeah, he just said, I asked him how he did it one time, and he goes, well, the sky looks the same color as this color on my palette. So, I know that that's the color the sky's supposed to be.
So he's matching, gray tones or something?
Yeah, totally. He is. It's crazy. My mom has some of his paintings. He painted pictures of the lighthouse that we used to live in when I was a little girl. But yeah, crayons. We're talking about crayons. And I was talking about that guy, Fucking A, from the Wax Nostalgic. That's how we got off on this topic. Got so sidetracked. They're nuts. They're incredible. Oh, speaking of fucking coloring, I am kind of blown away by all of a sudden this fucking adult coloring book fad.
I know. I'm glad people finally got on board.
I was going to say, listen, adults, I never stopped coloring in coloring books.
Especially when I need to chill the fuck out. Like, when I am just like, I just am exploding inside. Mm-hmm. I color, and it's like so soothing and calming.
Yeah, and there is actually, even now, I can't remember what the name of that thing is. We talked about it once, but that sound... The sound of coloring on coloring book paper kind of does something for me too. So it's a multi-sensory.
Scott got me a funny one that I need to color in more.
Really?
An existential coloring book.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
It's so funny. It's really funny. So you get to think about, big, deep things while you're coloring.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I kind of need one of those.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that a few people, that might be good holiday gifts this year.
Yeah.
And
it's like horse heads and horse head. Yeah, it's like Archie McPhee. It's good.
I love anything Archie McPhee.
Yeah,
I saw a coloring book out there that is now I can't remember the name of the show because I always get them confused. Not Community, the other one that was awesome with Leslie Knope. Everybody's screaming at us. I can feel it right now.
I don't know. You're talking about a coloring book?
No, it's a TV show, but it's a coloring book from the TV show.
Okay.
And it was just canceled in my brain. It has Ron Swanson on it. Did you not watch the show? God damn it.
I don't watch a lot.
It's not Community. I'm a sitcom junkie. I love it. Anyway. This is pissing me off.
I think there was like a death metal, death metal coloring book too that was like, or goth, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a few of those.
Funny.
I've seen a few like band ones. Like there was a Kiss, of course there's a Kiss coloring book.
Yeah.
Because if Gene Simmons can fucking merchandise anything,
yeah,
he's gonna fucking do it. That dude
even though that's
like,
mostly black and white.
Right?
Yeah.
Color black
Red.
and white. But there's blood. There's red.
Yeah.
There's a pyrotechnics, I guess.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
That's true. And then the cool, just mandala, is that how you say that?
Yes, those are so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot of coloring books at Powell's Books right now. Like adult coloring books.
They had them at Costco, of all places. Like these really
intricate... You know that it's integrated itself into popular culture when you can buy it at Costco.
Yeah. We got one of animals, and it's hard because it's little tiny spaces, but when you get them all colored in, it looks really cool. Kind of like a collage when it's
Parks
done.
and Recreation.
Oh, yeah.
I'm such an idiot.
Community, that's close.
No, but they were on the same channel. I'm sorry. So there's a one, I'm sorry to interrupt you. We'll continue
that's
that
okay.
because I just got this next Parks and Rec coloring book.
Yeah.
And it has Ron Swanson and Leslie Knope and all the funny people in it, and it's a hilarious coloring book. Blah, blah.
Wow.
So there. I feel so much better now.
Where did you find that?
Online, of course.
Oh, yes.
On the Amazons.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it. But anyway, yeah, there are some really intricate, beautiful adult coloring books.
Mm-hmm.
And I also found, and I'll link a few of them, pages where you can just download coloring book pages.
Mm-hmm.
Like websites where you can download
I used those for my kid all the time when she was little because she'd be like, I want to color a horse or whatever. So then you could find cool horse coloring pages. Yeah, those were fun.
Now here, I think I've spoken about this on the podcast before, but I don't remember when. This is a fun thing to do, speaking of holiday gifts. I, one year, for our nieces and my son, collected pictures from the year of our family and friends and everybody that hung out in our group. Mm-hmm. And I used software on my computer to change them to just outlines. Oh, so it was coloring book outlines. And then I had them printed off and spiral bound and made a family coloring book. Nice. And the kids fucking loved it.
Oh, cool.
Like, they colored the shit out of it forever. I think they still have them.
I hope there was a doodah on there to color.
I was before we had doodah.
Oh.
We didn't have, I don't think we had doodah yet. It was a long time ago. Like, they were pretty little.
Aw.
but it was fun.
Yeah, that's really cool.
But that's a great idea, too, even for adults. You could, like, your group of friends. If you have a group of friends that you hang out all the time.
I just remembered, now I have to find it. I bought a really cool coloring book at Crafty Wonderland. This guy's art, I loved his art. And he made a coloring book of his art. And I don't know what I did with it. But it was so cool. And I loved it. Yeah. Really fun. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
But aside from coloring and coloring books, and this is the point of this episode, there are other things that you can do with crayons. You are not limited to just coloring on coloring books or coloring on things that you drew on a piece of paper. Like, there's some cool shit that you can do with crayons.
Yes. They fit very nicely in your nose as well.
Also, they fit pretty great in a chow's butthole.
Yes.
I don't know this from personal experience, but I watched it happen. My son, when he was like 2, was coloring, maybe 3. And we used to have a chow, and they have the curly tail, and their butthole's right there. I mean, it's just out in the open. And she was standing there, and I watched him look at the crayon and look at her butt, and I'm like, no! As he was doing it, he went, bloop! And she was mad. She barked and ran away. I had to chase her down to get the crayon out of her butt. Like, no. You cannot put that. Don't. Crayons do not go in buttholes.
No.
Especially not your dog's butthole. The dog back here is like, I got a curly tail. Stay away from my butthole. Don't do that. That's not what we're talking about, people.
Okay.
We're not talking about putting things in people's buttholes.
No, okay.
Because that's gross. Or noses. Because then you get like you get boogery crayons.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
The booger snots.
Don't want that.
No, that's gross. Don't do it.
Okay, fine. How about peeling the crayon and putting it in your hot glue gun? You can do that. And it melts it and it makes wax strips.
Lonnie's going to do something. She's going to do a project. This is one of the projects. Wait, is that the one that you were going to do?
Well, that was one I was thinking of, but the stencil one is really cool. But maybe you could use both.
You could use both.
If you use the hot glue gun to put the wax where you want it and then hit it with the heat gun.
I don't know. But Lonnie's going to make...
But maybe that's too much. Maybe you don't have to do that.
A drawing out of melted crayon with her glue gun.
I'm gonna try.
She's gonna try. That's gonna be cool. There's a phoenix that somebody did on the Pinterest board for this episode that made me pretty excited.
Yeah, that's true.
It was beautiful. Cool. And the colors. The colors are pretty.
Yeah.
So here's one objection that I have to all of this, because I hate wasting things.
Yeah.
So I feel like you should just use your old crayons that are left over to do that kind of stuff, but
I don't have any.
But then they're dirty.
Yeah.
Old crayons are always dirty.
Yeah.
So I have some cheap ass crayons that I don't know where. I think I got them at the dollar store. They're like the Rose Art ones. I'm going to use those. Yeah.
Sometimes the cheap ass crayons are a little inferior though.
They are totally inferior.
They color.
But
yeah.
They don't make
for other things they might work great.
They would be great.
Yeah.
So I think I'll just cut out the section that I just said about the being wasteful, because that was cheeky and rude.
It's okay. You can say it.
I don't want to be cheeky and rude.
It was amazing to see people just gluing a whole line of crayons to a canvas and just melting them. I'm like,
I'm going to do a variation of that.
Cool.
Because I feel like that's kind of played out. Everybody does it. Like I will tell you how I know it's played out. I found at the Tillamook Goodwill in the art section a bunch of those that people had done for sale. They didn't do a very good job on them either. There's a right way and a wrong way to do that shit, and when you give it to Goodwill, you know that you did it the wrong way.
Yeah. Or you gave it as a gift and that person's
that person said, this is stupid. I'm giving it to Goodwill.
I'm not hanging this on my wall. Yeah.
But I did see people incorporating it into silhouette paintings, and I thought it was kind of cute. Using it like it was rain coming down or something. So I'm going to experiment with that a little bit. That's one of the projects that I'm going to do for this one. And what was the other one that you just said you were going to do?
Oh, that I would love to be able to do. The stencil one.
Oh my God. So
this woman did a Jimi Hendrix that was just beautiful. There's a bunch of her stuff on Pinterest I've noticed. But she it was intricate what she did, and she really took her time, like cutting out the stencil and then tracing it, and then using tape to cover that. But it might not be as hard as I'm thinking. I
don't think
because
so. I think
she
that
said
she
if
just
you
used a really detailed picture, and maybe you don't have to be quite so
if you
detailed.
just lightly use your X-Acto blade to cut the tape in the shape you want, you won't cut you're not going to cut the canvas or whatever. Really beautiful.
They're really like, so beautiful. What she did was she took an image, and the one that we saw was Jimi Hendrix. So she took the image and she printed it off in black and white, and then she cut away the negative, all the positive space in the picture, all the light she cut out, and then she traced that, as Lonnie was saying, trace that onto her canvas and filled that area with tape so that it didn't get the wax on it, and then it looks like she just held the crayon in a heat gun. Yeah. And it kind of blows the wax. It looks tie-dye-ish or like... Oh, my God. Gorgeous. It was so pretty. It's amazing to me how such a simple method can result in such stunning artwork. Yes. Because really, it's just cutting stencils and using tape. Yeah. And melting crayons. But the result is mind-blowing. Yeah. Something you would want to hang on your wall. Oh, totally. Yeah. Yeah. Or I saw another that might be simpler. Maybe I'll try this, where they did a tree that way and just did the top of the tree and then painted a black trunk. Oh, that would be whatever. Really pretty too. Yeah, yeah. Or you could do that with flowers. You could have, splotchy crayon flowers and a lot of melty things that you can do with crayons. They're great. I'm trying to remember the other project that I was going to do. Stained glass. Oh, murder. Yeah. So last week, I mentioned this because I had ironed the leaves between two pieces of wax paper. But I also, when I was a kid, we used to do this. I don't know whatever happened to these people that did this. It was like a bunch of my friends' moms would have an art camp every summer when we were really little. And I remember doing this in the art camp where you would shave crayons. So you draw your picture on your wax paper, or you put wax paper over a picture underneath it. But anyway, you shave your crayon shavings, like your sharpenings, into certain areas like that you want to be the certain colors, and then you put another piece of wax paper over the top of it, and then you iron it down so it all melts, and then you go over the lines between them with Sharpie just to make it look more stained glass, and you can frame that and hang it in a window. Here's the thing that I think we should all keep in mind, though. I don't know if you've ever left crayons in a car in the heat. Yeah. They melt. Yeah. At a pretty low temperature. So I feel like maybe if you made art like this, you would want to make sure to not hang it on a wall that was like direct sun was going to hit. Yeah. Because I feel like your art would melt. Or at least it gets sweaty. And so maybe keep it also away from heating vents. Like don't hang it near, like on the wall above a heat vent. True. Because that would be a bummer. I wonder if well, no, that wouldn't work with the wax paper thing. But if you had it on a canvas, if you varathaned over it or something. Maybe. I still feel like it would get hot and melt under that. Yeah, yeah. So that's just one thing that you should probably keep in mind when you're making these, or when you're hanging art that has a lot of crayon wax in it. You want to maybe avoid heat sources. Because it would make you sad to come home and go, oh no, Jimi Hendrix, you melted all over my floor. He's like, boo. Yeah. It would be sad. Yeah. But yeah, I'm going to do, so for my examples, I'm going to do the stained glass, and I'll take some process pictures, and then I'll do the canvas. But yeah, and we'll always try to take process pictures. But I also saw some really great, now because the holidays are coming up, and these are kind of fun gifts to give, like teachers or even grandparents or whatever. They're kind of kidsy kind of things. Maybe your kids can help you with it. I did see some pretty cool crafts done with crayons. Like they just glued crayons around on a picture frame.
Oh, yeah.
And it looked really cute. It was really neat. It kind of jazzed up the picture frame. So, even in a kid's room, that would be neat. Or I saw using a monogram. You just do the letter of their first name, and then they cut crayons pretty precisely in the shape. So it looks like they laid them out over the letter and then probably used like an X-Acto blade or maybe a slightly warm X-Acto blade to cut.
Yeah, I wonder how they,
It would be pretty easy. Like I have a little baker's torch that I use for melting wax and stuff anyway in my studio. So I bet maybe if you could just hit it with that or even with a lighter really quick and then you just, to make it not snap. Because they can be a little bit brittle.
Yeah.
But yeah, they cut them in the shape to make a letter. I think there's a letter K in there. That's what caught my eye because that is the letter in my first name. So, but yeah.
Oh, I saw another thing too, where they did the hot glue gun thing with the crayon, but then filled molds with it, so you could make little crayon shaped. These were flower shapes they were doing, like,
and they're actual crayons that
kids
can color with, or your adult friends can color with.
Yes,
you can do that really easily, and by you wouldn't even need to use your hot glue gun. You could just melt them in a pan, like in a double boiler or something, and use candy molds.
Yeah.
Because you can get all kinds of really super cute, like chocolate candy molds at the craft stores right now for like Joann's or at Decorette shops or Michael's. They're really in the stores right now because people always do their holiday candies. But you can find all kinds of cute little shapes to make for, special thing for kids or whatever.
I keep picturing little robots.
Robot. I only like the cute robots. I don't like robots that look like people.
No, the boxy
ones. They scare me.
Yeah.
I like the 60s style pew 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 B-movie robots.
Yeah.
Those are the best ones. They're super cute, but no, I have a sliver in my finger. I'm sorry.
You're flipping me off again.
I am, but I feel like I don't know what I have in there. It itchies.
Ooh, don't like those.
It's probably like a leftover blister scab from my hot glue. A nightmare. It was the Halloween of Bernie. Burning. Fuck crayons. You can do cool. Oh, I also saw this little, like somebody made a keepsake box and they just glued broken up crayons all over it. It was super cute.
I wonder how they would look on a black background. Do you think they would show if you used a black canvas?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I totally do.
Okay.
I want to play with black canvases. We should do an episode about black canvas.
I know. I have my eye on them all the time. But I was thinking maybe the silhouette thing, the stencil thing on a black canvas with crayon, maybe?
That would be cool.
I don't know if it would show up.
Look, this is what we're about in this show.
Yeah,
we are about fucking experimenting and trying it.
Yeah.
Do it. See how it works.
Yep.
Maybe you do a test on black construction paper to see
how it shows.
To see how it shows up first before you drop some moolah on some black canvases.
I know.
I'm pretty bad about that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna add that to our. I don't have a. Can you hand me that notepad and a pen? This is happening in real time, people. I'm making a note to do an episode on black canvases because I have a friend, an artist friend, who is actually teaching classes painting acrylic on black canvases.
So there's a special method that you want to use?
I don't know. I'm going to ask her about it. I've been trying to think of an excuse to get her to be a guest on the show, too. So
yeah.
But that will be after we get the computer replaced because it would probably have to be a Skype thing because she lives in Vashon Island.
Oh, so pretty place.
Would be yes, it is very beautiful.
That's the place where the bike is grown into the tree.
Totally.
So cool.
I love that.
Yeah.
I feel like we're kind of petering out on the crayon subject here.
I
was pretty excited about it, but man.
Sorry, Katie.
We're running out of crayon shit. Why are you sorry?
I don't know.
Actually, no, you know what? I think I just feel like we're petering out because we're supposed to be doing half-hour episodes, but like the last 5 have been hour-long episodes because
so we're like...
we jibber-jabber so goddamn much.
Yep.
We suck. We don't suck. We're awesome.
And we charge too much. Ah!
Oh! Those were my symbols.
That used to be my favorite burn when I was in high school. You suck and you charge too much.
Ooh. Oh, burn on you, burn on you. I hate when I think of burns after the fact.
Oh, I know. I had something recently. Oh, a guy in the drive-thru behind me was yelling at me because I was taking too long. But it wasn't my fault.
How are you taking too long in the drive-thru if you're waiting for somebody to do something?
Right. And they were understaffed. And the guy was working the drive-thru apologized. He's like, I'm sorry, I'm having to do the counter at the same time. I'm like, that's fine, dude. But the guy behind me was like, come on! And I was like, please. And I just was like, it's not my fault, shut up. And I was like, that was lame. Like, I could have come up with something better to say than that.
Yeah, there would have been swears involved.
Yeah, like...
I don't know, like when we were out on Halloween, those girls were mean to me. And I feel so stupid saying those girls were mean to me, but all night long. The only person that was even slightly rude to me was this guy. He's like, this chick's got a house on her head. But I was wasted, and I turned around and I'm like, I am Princess Unikitty of Cloud Cuckoo Land, and you better recognize. And he got down on one knee and bowed to me. So I was cool with that.
Yeah.
But then when we were leaving the last bar that we were at, these girls were in the bathroom, and I had to pee, and I opened the bathroom door, and look, people, if you don't want someone to walk in the bathroom when you're on the toilet, there's this thing called a lock.
Yes.
And it works really great to keep people out of the room that you don't want them to come into.
Yes.
I opened the door. She was pulling up her underpants and her butt was showing, and it was like a door where people were walking by. So she was maybe a little mad that her butt got seen. It was just the side of her butt. It was no big deal.
Side butt.
Side butt. Anyway, I said, oops, sorry, and closed the door. Then when I came out, they were like super mean girls. They were all like, oh, what are you, super kitty or super unicorn? And I just said, I'm Unikitty. Like, my feelings were really hurt that, like, it burst my bubble. And it was like, I know that doesn't sound mean, but the way they said it was like super
mean girl style. Yeah.
And so, after the fact, I was like, I was more mad at myself for not, like,
coming up with some
witty thing.
Yeah.
There was this part of me that was like, you could have said, oh, I don't know, my costume's not as good as yours, super bitch, or something like that. Like, I could have said something really awful, but I didn't. Actually, what I really wanted to do was punch her in the throat, but...
yeah.
And there was a bouncer
Violence
right there.
Is not the answer.
No, it's not the answer.
No,
that's like 15 years ago, Katie.
Yeah.
I would have been like, bitch, whoa, and punched him, but I don't fight anymore, because...
I forgot something.
Yes, because we're totally sidebarring again.
Okay, on the last episode, talking about Halloween stuff, I wanted to give a shout out to masking tape, and I fucking forgot. I wanted to hang a skeleton on my door, and I used masking tape, and it worked. It held through, I just circled a masking tape on the back. It held through the storm and everything.
Really?
And a witch's hat. I hung a witch's hat on my wall with masking tape. And it doesn't ruin the door, and it stays... And I love it. So there. Sorry, I just had to get that out.
I'm glad that you said that, because you know what? I went to the dollar store and bought the cheap knockoff version of, like, you know, the 3M things with the...
Yes, those took the paint off my door.
The cheap knockoff ones do.
Even the real ones.
Do the real ones? They're not supposed to.
My door's not painted very well, though, so, I mean...
Dude.
It's not the product's
fault.
The
ones that I hung on my door are not coming off the door.
Yeah.
Because there's no way for them to come off the door. I didn't think of that, so...
There's no stretch.
No.
It doesn't... Oh, snit.
It's just a sticky pad. So I have these 2 hangers on the door that, okay, future people who live in this house after I leave, you're welcome for the door hooks.
Yeah.
Because if I take them off, it's going to remove the paint, and then I'm not going to get my deposit back.
I accidentally, there's a big piece of missing paint on my door because I did that last year. That's a bummer. But it turns out, I was like, I'm just going to try this masking tape stuff because I love it. And it freaking worked, and it held. It fell down yesterday, actually, finally.
Huh.
Oh, damn.
Odd thing. I'm going to tell you this. I just had the weirdest thought. I'm not trying to force a segue back to crayons.
No, do it.
My mom used masking tape to get crayon off of the refrigerator once.
Wow. Like just covered it and rubbed it and peeled it off?
She totally did.
Hell yeah. That's beautiful. So... masking tape worked in
Yeah,
this.
she just like rubbed it with like her thumbnail and then pulled it off, and it like stuck to the tape and you pulled it out. Because you know how refrigerators kind of have a slightly bumpy texture to them?
Yeah.
Totally worked.
Rad. Your mom's
So you should try that. My
smart.
mom's a genius.
Yeah. Yep.
She
Can I
just had
color
to
on
know.
your door? Just kidding.
No, don't color on my door. Color on my door. You know, that's something my kid never did. He never colored on walls, but he did, I discovered. And I was sad I kept this coffee table for way longer than I should have because of it. He was laying under the coffee table and writing on the underside of it. And he learned to, like, that's where he was writing his name. When he was like 3 or 4, he knew how to write his name. And he would write his name and draw smiley faces and stuff underneath there.
That's cute.
And the cute thing was, that was my parents' coffee table. And then when I moved out, I took it with me. And I cut my teeth on the corners of that coffee table. I chewed furniture, apparently, to cut my teeth when I was little. Like, all of our furniture had these little teeny bite marks in it. It was from me cutting my teeth. So I cut my teeth on the table, and then my son learned to write his name on the underside of the table. Aww. I didn't know he was doing it. But I finally had to get rid of it because it just fucking fell apart because it was a fucking 35-year-old piece of furniture that probably wasn't meant to last that long. Like, what happened is the legs, you know where the legs screw in? Mm-hmm. Like, they got so wallered out from so many years that the legs wouldn't stay on. So. Anyway, crayons are great fun, guys.
They are.
And they're not just for coloring in coloring books. That's the thing. And we're going to show you some stuff to do. We'll have pictures on the blog, of course. Always go to our blog. We'll have example pictures. And if we don't do examples, we always have links and helpful stuff for you guys there. And that's twoartsygals.com. Go there. Check it out. Lonnie's going to do some cool shit. I'm really excited. Now I'm putting super amounts of pressure on her.
I'm going to try.
I'm under pressure. That's what she is. No, but she just found a really cool idea, and I hope it works out. Yeah. But again, like last week, we posted pictures or a video of Lonnie's project that didn't work out.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they don't fucking work out. And, like, even, I wish I would have taken pictures when I made my Halloween costume and my catastrophic design failure that, like, just wouldn't work. Mm-hmm. So I had to start all over again and scrap it, and I didn't have time to make my husband's costume. Shit happens.
Yeah.
When you're doing stuff, sometimes shit works, sometimes shit doesn't. Don't be discouraged. Don't beat yourself up.
Yeah.
Bad art happens to good artists all the fucking time.
Yep.
You just have to learn from it and go forward.
Yep.
Go, chalk that one up to lesson learned.
Yeah, that sucked. Well,
I won't be doing that again anytime soon. Oops.
Yep.
But, yeah. Go look at our pictures. If you guys have any crayon ideas or questions about the episode or questions about the show, you can email us at twoartsygals@gmail.com, and you can call our voicemail line
at 503-395-7190.
and you can leave us an awesome message. Mm-hmm. We want to hear you. We want to hear your words in our phone.
Yeah.
On our voicemail line. It's just a voicemail line for the show. Neither of us are answer. Yep. There's a long-winded message about me saying if you don't want to have your voice on the show, to tell us you don't want to have your voice on the show. Yeah. Or we're going to use your voice on the show. Yeah. That's what it is.
Disclaimers.
Next week, what the fuck are we doing next week? Oh, and we have an announcement to make too. So next week, Lonnie and I are going to talk about basket weaving.
Oh.
It's going to be fun. I'm going to try to do some basket weaving. I did it once at 4-H camp, and it was awesome.
Never.
But I found some pretty cool, like, making baskets out of recycled newspaper and awesome ways that you can make baskets that you don't actually have to.
Was there one with recycled plastic bags too?
Recycled plastic bag baskets, all kinds of cool shit, probably some practical shit. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about, though, because it's you know what made me think?
Collecting eggs?
Yeah, for collecting eggs. Or you can make a cornucopia.
Ooh.
Which I've never understood.
I know, me neither. Why?
We'll talk about that more next week.
Yeah,
but it's been something that's confused the fuck out of me.
I've always wondered that too.
Like, it makes no sense to me. But yeah, so, and then for our last episode this month, if you get our newsletter, you already know this, but I forgot to announce it in last week's episode. I can't believe I did.
Oh.
We have a very, very, very special guest coming to make for a drunkisode. We're having a drunkisode, and Sharon is going to come hang out with me and Lonnie, and we're going to make holiday cards and record ourselves drinking and making holiday cards for you guys. And it's going to be so much fun. And it'll be all 3 artsy gals.
Yeah.
In one place at the same time.
Crazy.
It might be too much awesome to be contained in one room.
Yeah. Yep.
But it's going to be a good time. And I know you guys will be glad to have Sharon hanging out with us. And it'll be so much fun.
Yep.
So until next week, go make some cool shit, yo!
Do it now.